Hi guys, Becky here. How you all doing? I hope you're doing well. So in today's video I'm going to talk about piercings, all the piercings I've had, where I got them done, how I got them done, how I feel about them, if they hurt, you know, anything general around piercings really. Because a lot of people in person, like who know me real life, tend to quite always ask me about piercings because they know I've had a couple. So I thought I'd throw all the information that I have into this one video, and then if anybody was interested, they'd find out all they needed to know from this video. So, I haven't had that many piercings, to be honest. I've had a couple, and I guess we'll start from the first piercings I got. Bear in mind, I only have two of the piercings that I'm going to talk about now, which is my lip and my septum. All the rest I haven't got anymore, and I'll tell you why as we go along. So, first piercings I got, my lobes done at Claire's when I was quite young, 10 or 11. Didn't hurt at all. I remember it was just a little pinch, literally a little pinch like this, and it didn't hurt at all. And they used a gun for them. I had two people do them at the same time, and they looked quite cute. So on a 1 to 10 scale, 10 being painful and 1 being not painful, I definitely give it like a 2 because it wasn't painful at all. I had them for a while. They never got infected. They were easy to clean with the solution they give you, and they always looked pretty. After that, I decided to stretch my right ear. So I stretched it, starting with a 1mm, ended up at 10mm. So if you don't know what that is, it's just a hole in your ear really. And I did that at home, bought all the stretchers off eBay, clean, and when I was stretching up, you're meant to leave a few months in between each stretch. I didn't do that. It didn't really affect my ears, but stretching your ears is painful. It's really painful, and I won't lie. On a pain scale, I would give it a good 7 because the bigger you go, Shannon's here. You're going to see her walking in a minute. Anyway, I'll carry on. The bigger you go, the more it hurts and the more painful it is, because the stretching hurts so much. And I had a burst in my ear at 8mm and it wrecked my ear. But then I got up to 10 after it had healed up a little bit, and it looked really nice in my perspective. A lot of people didn't like them, but I liked them a lot. However, I ended up taking it out because it was too sore to keep taking it in and out from work. So I had one earring in and then a stretched ear. You can hear my dogs barking because Shannon's here. She's still not upstairs though. Oh, I'll show you my dogs in a video. I'm sure I have already. So I had a stretched ear and a lobe piercing, but I ended up taking them both out because it was just hassle with work, taking them in and out. Shannon's here now. She's gonna come through. Ah! You know when you stretched your ear?
Yeah.
It hurts, doesn't it?
A little bit, yeah.
It hurts.
Yeah.
I'll continue this video when Shannon's gone.
Don't put me in it.
She's going in it. So Shannon's gone now. She just popped in to say hi and all because we haven't seen each other in a while. So let's get back to the topic of piercings. And as you can tell by somebody else's input, like Shannon, stretching does hurt. And I'm good with pain. It does hurt, obviously. Like you're pulling, you're stretching your skin. It's just not natural, and it does hurt, but it looks good. So 7 on the pain scale. So the next one I got done was my helix, which is the top of your ear. I got this done. Oh dear, I got this done in Colwyn Bay at the Henchies. Local people would know that, and people who don't live here won't know what the hell I'm on about. But it's not the best place to go for piercings or tattoos, I'll tell you that now. However, to be fair, when I got my helix done there, nothing went wrong with it. I had it for multiple years, like 2-3 years. Only took it out because of the same hassle with work. It stayed clean, it didn't hurt that much. Getting the piercing was not painful at all, just a pinch again, but a bit harder because it's in your cartilage. I'd say 3 out of 10 on the pain scale. However, the aftercare, if you laid on it when you went to sleep, it was quite uncomfortable. I wouldn't say painful, but it was uncomfortable. However, it was bearable, so not a painful piercing. Nothing went wrong with it where I got it done. However, I wouldn't recommend going there. And they're cute piercings. You can get cheap earrings for them, just general earrings off eBay, in shops. And yeah, helix piercings, they look good and didn't hurt that much. The next one I got was, I can't really explain it. It was basically here in the middle, and I did this myself. Me and my friend at the time were just sat down in her room and we were like, screw it, let's give ourselves a piercing. So I got a sterilised needle, clean sterilised new needle, and an apple, and I just shoved it through, and it didn't hurt. I want to say it hurt. It did bleed a little bit. It was sore because I did it myself and I'm an idiot. That's why it probably bled a little bit and it hurt. It was sore, but it wasn't extremely painful, unlike it was here, so it was a bit hard to go through the cartilage again. It looked good afterwards and it didn't get infected. It was fine, had a clean new earring in it, and I had that for a few years as well, and it was fine. However, I wouldn't recommend to pierce your own ears and stuff like that, or pierce anywhere in case it does go wrong, but I just decided to do it, and in my case it was okay, just a little bit of blood, but it was fine, and I'd give that a 4 out of 10 on pain just because I did it myself. If you got it done professionally, I'm sure it would have hurt less. It was a bit like the helix piercing though, when talking about if you're laying on it, because it's a bit uncomfortable but it's not painful, it's bearable. After that one, I decided to do a double lobe here. I did that myself, same method, sterilised no needle and an apple, and I just shoved it through. It was a bit tricky to get it through actually. Once it was through, it didn't hurt, didn't bleed, wasn't painful, just a little pinch. It was just tricky to get it through there, and apart from that it was fine and it didn't get infected. I just wore generic earrings for it, didn't hurt the aftercare, kept it clean, and I'd give that a 2 out of 10 on the pain scale because it just didn't hurt, and it would probably hurt less if you got it done professionally as well, like at Claire's or something. But again, I did that myself because I just thought why not, and because I did this one beforehand, I just thought, you know, what's going to go wrong. However, like I said, I wouldn't recommend it. Forgot to mention, I think, at Henchies when I got my helix done up here, I had it done twice, so I had one here and one here right underneath. I got them done at the same place and they used a gun. They shouldn't have used a gun, they should have used a needle. However, it was fine like I explained, but I had 2 of them. So I took all of my earrings out in the end after a few years because it was just hassle taking them in and out for work all the time. And my hair was always covering my ears, so I thought why not just leave them out. I could still get my lobe in, and my stretched ear hasn't quite closed up to an earring size. However, I've had it out a while. I could probably get my helix ones in still, but the ones I did myself I couldn't get in now because they're closed up completely. Next one is my lip bar. I've had this done now for 5 years, I think. I got it done at, I don't know where he worked for, but my friend was good friends with him, so he pierced my lip for me. It cost £20 or £15, I think. I forgot to mention all the prices for all the ears. They all cost me £10 apart from the ones I did myself, and obviously the different size stretchers, they cost about £3 each depending on where I got them from, but I got mine from eBay. And I think my lobes from Claire's cost a bit more than that. A few years ago I think they cost about £20, but the rest of them cost £10. Anyway, the lip piercing, I've had this for 5 years, around 5 years, and I've never had any issues with it. It healed properly, it was done nice and cleanly with a needle, it didn't hurt at all. I was honestly dreading it, I was so scared, but it didn't hurt. It was like a little pinch again. It didn't bleed. It was a bit swollen after the bar was in. However, that's normal for piercings. The healing process was fine with salt water and just cleaning it. Nothing went wrong. Didn't hurt in my opinion. I'd give it a 4 out of 10 because it was very much bearable. The aftercare was bearable. It didn't hurt. And it was just a little bit sore when it first got done, hence the 4. Yeah, it was just basically a sharp pinch. It was over and done within a flash. But I've still got this piercing because, however, you can't see it because I don't really wear the ball on it because I constantly lose my lip bars because obviously I have to take it out for work all the time. But I like having it in and it's fun to play with, and I've always liked the idea of lip piercings. So yeah, it was a great piercing all in all because it was cheap to look after. It's always can sit there. It's a good piercing to hide. Yeah, great. My last piercing is my newest piercing, my septum. I've had this for 2 years now. This is the only piercing I've had a problem with. I got it done first time. I'm not going to say where because the guy who did it is a good friend of the family and he is a professional piercer and things like that. He is professional. However, the first time I got it done, it didn't seem to go as planned. I think it cost £10 or £15 and I feel like it was just pierced slightly too forward, so the bar was flicking upwards and wouldn't go down, and sometimes that just happens when you get it done and it does eventually drop. However, mine didn't drop. It was in so much pain all the time. It was so sore. It bled so much when it was pierced and it was just not a nice experience for me, and that honestly did really hurt. I'd give that like a 6-7 out of 10 on the pain scale because I believe it got done wrong for my nose, I guess. It just wasn't correctly pierced in the right place for my nose, but the guy who did it is a professional and he's done loads of piercings all correctly. So I don't know what happened with my one. It just didn't sit right. It didn't feel right. It bled so much. I couldn't tuck it under. It just didn't heal properly, and I looked after it all the time. It just wasn't right. I feel like it was just the bar was too big or it was pierced in the wrong place accidentally. So I give that a few weeks and it just didn't change. So I ended up going to a different piercing shop and they took it out for me, and then I let that heal up, and then I went to New Skin in Belgrano at the time. They pierced it for me again there. That they weren't the people that pierced it the first time. They pierced it for me there. It took literally 2 minutes, little pinch. It made my eyes water so much, but I didn't bleed, had no problems with it. It went straight in. It sat flat. It was able to be tucked under. It was honestly perfectly straight. It was great. It's still fine now. I had no problems with it. I can change it. Lovely. Healing process was fine. I always play with it though. Honestly, it was great. So it didn't hurt at all. It just made my eyes water because nose piercings make your eyes water. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give that literally a 3, maybe a 4 because of the playing around, like getting the needle out and the bar in. It's a bit irritating, but honestly bearable, doesn't hurt, just makes your eyes water, so be prepared for that. I think that cost me £15 or £20. However, they're really good there. I had a problem with it at one point, the bar, not like a problem with the piercing, but I lost the balls on my septum. The septum ball came off and I couldn't get it on for some reason, and I went in and they put it back on for me and gave me a new bar as well, so that was really nice of them, free of charge. So they're great there, and that piercing went really well with them, which was quite lucky. So my camera's about to die, the dogs are barking. That's all of the piercings I've had and everything to do with them. So I hope that's helped you. You can see that my camera's about to go off because the lighting's just changed, so I'm going to hurry up. Hope that's all helped you. It's all the piercings that I've had. Any other questions, just comment down here, let me know. I do want a few more, but I'll talk about that in a different video. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if it was any help. leave comments on ideas, subscribe to the channel, notification bell, you know the drill. So I hope you've had a good day, enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!